Hi all, the next year 2023 is just around the corner. And it's time to talk about future games that will be released in the year of the rabbit. The coming year 2023 promises to be a busy year in terms of game releases of various genres. In this article, I decided to choose the most anticipated games in my opinion. Also write in the comments what games you are waiting for in 2023 and subscribe to the channel. Assassin's Creed Mirage. The events of the new set take place 20 years before the story of Assassin's Creed Valhalla. The story takes the user to Baghdad. You have to play as a young street thief, Basim ibn Ishaq, who is destined to become a real assassin. By the way, in 2024 there will be another promising release, Assassin's Creed codename Hexa. In the meantime, you can remember the past or get acquainted with the game world of the entire series. Assassin's Creed Origins, Assassin's Creed Odyssey. As well as Assassin's Creed Syndicate, Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Assassin's Creed 4, Black Flag.
Compromise the Brotherhood.
Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora. The universe of Avatar will delight its fans not only with a new blockbuster, but also with an adventure game. As stated in the description, the player will play as a representative of the Na'vi people and go on a journey through the never-before-seen western lands of Pandora, as well as repel the forces of the corporation for the development of natural resources. Based on the screenshots available on the internet, one can already judge the thoughtful and detailed drawing of the game world, bright characters and the unforgettable fairy tale atmosphere of Pandora. Corsairs Legacy. The game is described as pirate action RPG, adventure role-playing action with a third-person view in a pirate setting. The plot will take you to the 17th century, in the story of the smuggler Jack Rackham, who, by the will of fate, became a pirate. Among what has just become known, complete freedom in pumping a game character, updated mechanics and modern graphics. Dead Space.
Emergency maintenance team of the USG Kellyan responding to your distress call.
Game product in the sci-fi genre. In the center of the plot will appear ordinary engineer Isaac Clarke, who was seconded to the giant USG Ishimura spacecraft for repairs. However, once on board, he learns that the crew is infected with a strange disease, killed, and his girlfriend Nicole is missing.
This is Senior Medical Officer Nicole Brennan. Medical is overwhelmed. We need help.
And only with the help of his tools and engineering skills, Isaac must investigate what really happened here. And, of course, do not forget to fight for your life with necromorphs. Diablo 4. Beat them all, hack and cut. These are the main words of the rules of this incredibly addictive crazy game. In the game universe after Diablo 3 60 years have passed. Humanity is in decline, the gates of heaven are closed. But the time has come to return to the demon of hatred, the daughter of Mephisto, and Lilith, the demoness leader of the succubi.
Guide my soul to thy sacred light. Blessed Akrat, thy eternal light protects me. Thy divine wisdom guides me.
Quiet.
Thou my path wrought of darkness.
Shut up.
They have our scent. Run!
Can you resist despair and hopelessness? It has already been stated that team play, boss fights and dungeon clearing will be at the forefront. The Nephilim are awakening.
Are you out of your mind? He's not going to make it.
Gothic 1 Remake.
Get back in there.
A remake of a cult game product, the development of which began immediately after the successful release of Gothic playable teaser. The player will play the role of a prisoner who has fallen into a gloomy world covered with a magic dome. Choose which side you will take, and go to fight the orcs. Already from the first screenshots that hit the web, it can be judged that gamers are waiting for a gloomy, aesthetic and detailed gaming universe, just exploring which is already a pleasure. Hogwarts Legacy. Are fans of books and films about the boy wizard really looking forward to playing the exciting Potteriana very soon? Separately, I am glad that the game product will be available for PC and all popular consoles. You will be transported to Hogwarts in the 1800s, about 200 years before the birth of Harry Potter. You have to play for a student who has learned an ancient terrible secret that can destroy everything.
You may begin.
Not bad for a beginner.
Save the world or succumb to the temptation of the dark side, it's up to you. Hogwarts Legacy is waiting for new and familiar locations, battles with wizards, fantastic beasts, magical classes and powerful pumping of the characters' gaming skills.
Ranrock's loyalists are capable of so much more than people realize.
Mafia 4. According to unofficial sources, the new story will be set in Las Vegas during the 70s. The main character is in the best traditions of Italian mafiosi and Scorsese heroes. Mafia 4 takes place over a decade entirely in the present, with no flashbacks or Mafia 3 references. The rest of the video game will remain a linear adventure with the beloved building management option.
I killed for my country. I killed for my family.
Did you know that there is another version of the game's plot? Allegedly, the events of Mafia 4 will develop in Sicily. Among the main characters are the family of Don Salieri, Tommy's boss, young Salieri. Marvel's Wolverine. A game from the Marvel Universe that will soon be available on the Sony PlayStation. We are waiting for an adventure action game from a third person, the main character of which will be Wolverine.
Your grandfather called me a Ronin. Samurai without a master.
According to verified sources, the action of the game will unfold in the universe of Spider-Man from the games Marvel's Spider-Man 2018 and Marvel's Spider-Man Miles Morales 2020. Mass Effect 5. So far, official sources have very modest information about the new product. Mass Effect 5 is a sci-fi action RPG game from the third person, the sequel to Mass Effect 3.
Humanity now stands as partners in the galaxy. Hawk 6 is away. Godspeed.
Additionally, support for 4K resolution, 60 FPS, and HDR is expected, as well as improved textures, animations and effects. In everything else, the continuation of the original trilogy awaits, the events of which unfold in the distant Andromeda galaxy. Resident Evil 4 Remake. Resident Evil 4 Remake is a remake of the legendary third-person action-adventure horror game in the Resident Evil series. The story of the fourth part takes place in 2004, 6 years after the events of the second part. Leon Scott Kennedy, a government agent, is sent on a mission to Europe.
Your soul requires cleansing.
He has to save Ashley Graham, the daughter of the President of the United States, who was kidnapped by a mysterious cult. A journey to a rural village in Spain turns into a meeting with its bloodthirsty inhabitants.
What do we do?
The lost lambs are escaping. We need to go.
I'm gonna get you.
Silent Hill Ascension. Ready for a new dive into the Silent Hill universe? The developers promise that in a future release, only the gamer will decide how the plot will develop. By the way, this is not the only premiere of the series next year. Fans are waiting for two more new items, Silent Hill F, which will unfold in Japan in the 60s of the last century, and Silent Hill Townfall, which will be available on PC, PS5 platforms.
In my restless dreams, I see that town.
Skull and Bones.
Heist ever.
Skull and Bones is a naval multiplayer pirate game where players are invited to become captains of ships and challenge each other for dominance of the sea. The game offers several different competitive modes, different classes of ships, upgrading captains and much more. In Skull and Bones, players must go a long way from a simple pirate to the commander of an invincible armada, capturing enemy ships and improving their own in every possible way.
And seize that convoy!
The game features a rich customization system that allows you to turn ships into authentic works of art, studded with cannons, rams and other devices for waging war. The gameplay itself is reminiscent of naval battles from the Assassin's Creed series, but with various reservations. Spider-Man 2. Since the publisher is Sony, PlayStation Studios, it is expected that the product will be released only on Sony PlayStation. Before us is a single-player game with a third-person view, continuing the already beloved Marvel series, Spider-Man. The viewer will again meet with the friendly neighbor, Spider-Man, Peter Parker. Together with Miles Morales, the hero will not only fight crime, but will also fight the super enemy, Venom.
Finally give me what I desire.
S.T.A.L.K.E.R 2 Heart of Chernobyl. A computer game that has already received the name, popularly loved. The player will have to return to the post-apocalyptic world of the infected Chernobyl, familiar from previous releases of the original trilogy. The universe of the game is seamless. You can visit the abandoned nuclear power plant itself, walk the streets of Pripyat, sneak into the village of Novichkov and, of course, explore secret objects. Gamers will find a large selection of weapons, more than 30 types, from the times of the Cold War between the USSR and NATO, as well as the very unforgettable atmosphere of despondency and hopelessness. Star Wars Jedi Survivor.
I was betrayed by the one I trusted most.
On May 28, as part of the Star Wars celebration in Anaheim, Electronic Arts officially unveiled the sequel to the role-playing action Star Wars Jedi: Fallen Order. The sequel will be called Star Wars Jedi: Survivor, and Respawn Games is responsible for its creation. The main character will again be the Jedi Cal-Kestis, and the events of the game will unfold 5 years after the end of the first part. The project is announced for PC, PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series S, X, and is scheduled for release in 2023.
Here we go.
After all we've done, the Empire.
Also, if this is your first time on our channel, and you really liked our video, then subscribe, press your finger up and enjoy. And most importantly, play only good games. Thanks to all. Good luck.